You see, Gary, for us on this planet right now, hopping into a virtual pod, yeah, it would be fun. It would be great, but, you know, you would get bored of it after a while because, I'm sorry.
It's a silly argument, like I said. That's like saying you getting bored with your own life. Like I said, virtual reality could mimic your exact life you're living. Okay, virtual reality could have you living any other individual's life. You could live Bill Gates's life. You could live the life of a Chinaman in a coal mine. You could live any other person's life on this planet now if you wanted to live some sort of realistic life. You can go forward, you can go backward in time, you can go anywhere. You can live any kind of life you want. So how the hell can you say you would get bored? I mean, it's insane.
You need that real handshake. You need that real hug.
You're just not getting it. Like I said, it is real. In your frickin' head, it's going to be real. Alright? That's the whole idea. It goes inside, behind your senses. You're not going to know you're in virtual reality. It's going to be just as real as the life you're living now. Except it's going to have all the crap taken out of it.
You need the real sex. You need real friends. You even need real enemies.
Well, you might. I don't need real enemies. I really don't. I don't need an enemy. I can live without them. Okay? I can just chase donuts. I don't need no fucking enemies.
See how that could work for the rest of your life, knowing that you're experiencing that stuff for real.
Like I said, you're just not getting it. It is going to be real from your perspective, just as real as your dreams are real. Okay, when you dream, you don't sit there and say in your dream, I'm just dreaming. This is all bullshit. It all doesn't matter. No, you're caught up in it. Alright, so take that dream state, which is a little fuzzy, admittedly, and make it high definition, make it just as real as this reality, just as detailed. Okay, that's what we're talking about here.
And you're going to put it into a fake situation. I don't see how that could work for people living now. If you, like I said, if you were born shoved into a pod from birth, then maybe, because they don't know any different what's going on. But I don't...
You're just not, like I said, you're not going to know any different either.
I'd miss that kiss, I'd miss that hug, I'd miss that touch, I'd miss that actual wave to that guy on the street. You know, there's nothing better than reality.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a funny line. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even going to say anything to that line. Yeah, there are things better than reality. There are. I can guarantee you, virtual reality will be a lot better than reality.
Reality can suck sometimes. It could suck big time. But Gary, I don't know if I want to be alone in front of a fucking screen or the glasses or something that's programmed to your brain and whatever.
Yeah, well, whatever. Like I said, you can draw it in as negative, you can look at it as in a negative way as you want, okay? But the bottom line is it's going to be a conscious experience. It isn't going to be you plugged into things and all this other crap. So if you want to look at it in a negative way, you want to, you know, put a negative twist on it that way, make it emotionally uncomfortable, well, that's your prerogative, but you're just making it deliberately emotionally uncomfortable. You're not dealing with the real fact that your psychology, okay, will be enriched by the environment, not deprived by the environment.
You know, I like real feelings. I like real people. I like real animals. I like real weather, whether it be destructive or not. But I'll tell you...
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, if you're saying if you could change the world and make every day, you know, San Diego all over the place, you wouldn't do it? Fine. I would, you know. Yeah, I'd say go ahead. Tornadoes, hurricanes, blight, phantom, plagues. Yeah, sure. Let's get rid of that shit. DC flies. Yeah, fuck it.
One thing, Gary. You living in your virtual pod, or other people living in their virtual pod, and of course you're probably fucking me up and down by now and saying I'm a fucking moron or an idiot, but I'm being logical here. And if you're...
Yeah, well, you're not really being logical, Tommy, okay? Sorry. You're twisting your perspective and worrying about the minutia. You're not really understanding the premise, okay? And the premise is reality will be suspended in your brain. You will not know you're in virtual reality. You will be living the movie, living the soap opera, living the script. Okay, it won't be you will know there's a script. It's just going to be just as real as this life is now. I mean, people have theorized, oh, well, what if this life was virtual reality? Well, you'll be just as fooled.
Call me all these names for being logical, then for you being logical, I should be swearing at you right now.
Well, whatever. I don't swear at you, Tommy, unless you do something stupid like call me a liar. So, but anyway, enough of that.
So, but even if you're living in this pod, you'd still be on this planet. And nature would be occurring outside of you. Whether you said there'd be no people out there, you would only do this if everybody would do it. I think I got that right. You would only do this if everyone does it. Because if someone's left behind, they'd come in there and kill you and whatever, fine. But let's say everyone was inside these pods and drones were working the outside. Nature would still work its course. Nature could actually put you out of commission.
Yeah, that's true, but it's true if the inside or outside. That's still true. There's still going to be a risk that some virtual reality units would be lost to environmental disaster, but they're going to be spread out all over the world. You can put them in really safe locations. I mean, you certainly wouldn't put them right on the edge of the cliff on the Pacific Palisades or whatever. So I mean, you could certainly reduce the risk, and you could certainly make the buildings resistant to pretty substantial climactic disaster.
Earthquakes, anything, typhoon, tidal waves, massive tidal waves that go 600 miles into the coastline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? If there's still 6.5 billion people alive and that happens, guess what? There's not going to be about 3 billion the next day. So, I don't see how that changes anything. I don't think it's not relevant to the equation.
Where would you put these pods? Electrical storms could take it out.
Yeah, well, like I said, realistically, that's not going to be a problem. If we to the point where we, can get inside the human brain, we're going to have the technology to create reliable backup battery systems and all the rest of that crap. So it's really not an issue.
I just don't see. And you say, oh, the drones could fix it or whatever. And, an earthquake, you fall down. I mean, drones ain't helping you.
Now, yeah, well, without virtual reality, you ain't going to get no help either. So what's the difference, okay? Yeah, so there'll be some losses to environmental catastrophe. Yeah, there's going to be losses either way.
Because the drones are going to be down there with you. Crushed and destroyed. So, Gary, I mean, your idea would be great as a form of entertainment. I think as a form of entertainment, it'd be a big, giant failure, okay? Because then the rich will own it, and the privileged, and the rest of the world will be fucked. So, fuck that. It being a lifestyle, I don't think so. I love everything out on this real earth too much.
Yeah, well, whatever. You're addicted to hell, and so you want to stay in hell. I mean, what? How do I make an argument to you? Okay, you're addicted to hell, and that's what you're addicted to. You're addicted to a status quo bullshit that you have attachment to. Okay, but you're not making a rational argument. You're just saying, I'm addicted to this. I know this world. I know this kind of life. And change scares the fuck out of me. That's all you're saying. I don't want to transition to something else. I don't want to blah, blah, blah. Well, fine. I'm just saying that the human race is doomed, in my opinion, if it doesn't do something like virtual reality. I mean, I don't see any other choice but virtual reality, and that's my challenge to you. Describe the future to me. Describe 500 years from now or 1,000 years from now. If human beings aren't, completely controlled by a Borg somehow, okay, where they have limited control, access to technology, limited emotional potential to get angry and decide to kill somebody else or kill a lot of people. So either explain how you're going to prevent the next suicide bomber kind of mentality, the next high school student who wants to kill as many people as possible in his suicide. You tell me how you can protect the human race from that mentality in a world where people have easy access to very, very powerful technology. So you explain to me how the future is going to exist without a virtual reality. In virtual reality, nuclear war is over, the nuclear threat's over, the power of human beings to harm each other is over.